Hello everyone, welcome back to Elements of Writing Lesson 3. Today we are going to study about a new rhetorical mode. It is called argumentation. Argumentative writing is also called persuasive writing. Persuade means encourage. One of the important purposes of argumentative writing is to encourage the reader to think in the same way as the writer. So that's an important point. What is the purpose of argumentation or argumentative writing? The purpose is to persuade or encourage the reader to think in the same way as the writer. So when you are writing an argumentative essay, your objective is to make the reader think in the same way as you. In argumentative writing, you give opinions and views in a convincing manner to your reader. How to make your argument convincing? If your argument is convincing, to make your argument convincing, it should be clear and logical. This clarity and logicality is achieved through critical thinking. So, every day you make arguments. But in order to make your argument acceptable to the audience, two things are necessary. One, it should be clear. It should be logical. Logical means reasonable. There should be a reason for the other person to believe it. So, we said about argument. What is actually an argument? You may have the habit of saying opinions about things happening around you. An opinion along with a valid reason for that opinion is called argument. See, it is simple as that. You say an opinion and you give a reason for that opinion. Then you can say that it is an argument. See this. An opinion without reason for it will remain only as a personal opinion. So that is an argument. Your opinion along with the reason for your opinion, that is argument. An argument can be about anything, including politics, books, sports, and movies. It can be on academic issues or non-academic issues. Whatever be the topic, the purpose of argument is to convince the listener or reader. Another person can agree or disagree with an argument. So why we are discussing all this? That is to equip you to write argumentative essay. What is argumentative essay? An essay written to present and convince an argument to the reader is called argumentative essay. An argumentative essay presents a debatable idea. That is, that can be agreed or disagreed. So that is argumentative essay. An important and interesting factor is that an argumentative essay cannot be written about a statement which is agreed by everyone. Imagine a topic which is agreed by everyone. An argumentative essay cannot be written about that. Such a statement is called fact. Okay, we are moving on to some details of argumentative essay. An argumentative essay consists of a set of debatable statements. These statements can be classified into two. 1. Premises. 2. Conclusion. So what we said is that an argumentative essay will be consisting of two types of statements. One is premises, second is conclusion. Conclusion, you know that every essay will be having a conclusion. Let us examine premises. Premises are assertions which can lead us to a conclusion. So you may find it difficult to understand this statement. Let us see the example. Assertion 1 or a statement 1. All novels written by R.K. Narayan takes place in a place called Malgudi. All novels written by R.K. Narayan takes place in a place called Malgudi. Assertion or statement 2. Malgudi is not a place that can reflect the cultural diversity of India. So we have made two statements. All novels written by R.K. Narayan takes place in a place called Malgudi. Malgudi is not a place that can reflect the cultural diversity of India. Therefore, we are coming to a conclusion based on the above mentioned assertions that R.K. Narayan is not a pan-Indian writer, that is, relating to whole of India. R.K. Narayan cannot be considered as a representative of whole India. The reason is that he wrote about Malgudi, a small place. Malgudi is not representative of the cultural diversity of India. Therefore, the conclusion, he is not a pan-Indian writer. He cannot represent whole India. Here, the assertions 1 and 2 are premises. The underlined statement, this, is called conclusion. So, this is actually, the example we have discussed is actually a summary of an argumentative essay. Argumentative essay will be having this premises and conclusion. Hope you understood that. So the conclusion can be used as the thesis statement in an argumentative essay. That is the conclusion. This can be used as the thesis statement in this particular essay. That is, the author is claiming that R.K. Narayan is not a pan-Indian writer. That is a thesis statement. So some features of argumentative essay is outlined here. 1. Author presents a viewpoint or perspective. Author will be having a perspective. Author is actually writing this particular essay in order to convey this particular point or perspective. The claim or argument raised by the author is used as the thesis statement of the essay. It is same as the conclusion of the essay. So that we have seen right now. Then, the aim of the writer is to persuade the reader to accept his or persuade the reader to accept his or her views. That also we have discussed. After stating the argument, it should be supported by evidence. Your evidence should be given for your argument to support your claim. So it is written in such a way that your arguments can be refuted or opposed by others. So this is a summarized version. You can see in your textbook it is in a detailed manner. So these are the important points. See the topics of argumentative essays. Should tobacco products be completely banned? Is social media a bane or boon? Should death penalty be abolished? Is digitalization affecting education standards? So from the questions itself, you will be able to understand that these are questions that should be debated. Okay, more sample topics can be found in page number 52 of the textbook. You should refer your textbook for more topics like this. Some examples of argumentative writings are also given in the page number 52, 53 and 54 of the textbook. Now, an attempt from your part, try to bring out the premises and conclusion for the following topic. That is reading a dying habit in the digital age? So you will be having your own conclusion for this particular topic. So you can present your premises for it, and using those premises you can come to a conclusion. You can write an essay on it. That is how it is to be worked out. And now we are coming to another rhetorical mode, that is comparison and contrasting. Comparison and contrast. Comparing and contrasting is a human tendency. We all have a tendency to find similarities and dissimilarities between two topics. It is this process of finding similarities and dissimilarities. It is the process of finding the similarities and dissimilarities, that is comparing and contrasting. While writing an academic paper, you may be required to find out the similarities and dissimilarities between two subjects. In such situations, we use the rhetorical mode, compare and contrast. So we read two books, then compare between the similarities and dissimilarities. You watch two movies and compare them. You compare the personalities of two people. See, all these are day-to-day activities, so you are familiar with doing that. A compare and contrast essay may examine two subjects either by comparing them or contrasting them, or by both. Compare contrastive analysis can be done in two ways. First method is discussing the similarities in one part and differences in the second part. So this is a method that can be adopted while writing a compare contrast essay. That is, you write an introduction to the essay, then in the next paragraph you compare, and in the next paragraph you contrast, then conclude. So first method is discussing the similarities in one part and differences in the second part. Like this. First part consists of introduction, comparison, contrast, conclusion. Then the second part is to identify the points to be compared. What all points are to be compared is listed. Then the comparison and contrasting is done in the same paragraph itself. The first point will be compared and contrasted in the first paragraph. The second point will be compared and contrasted in the second paragraph. Like this. See, second type consists of introduction, as I said earlier. Then the first body paragraph. Here the comparison and contrasting of the first point is done in this first body paragraph. Then second body paragraph, comparison and contrasting of the second point is done in the second body paragraph. Then conclusion. So in the first method, comparison alone is done in the first paragraph, then contrasting is done in the second paragraph. In the second method, the comparison and contrasting of one point is done in the first body paragraph, and the comparison and contrasting of the second point is done in the second body paragraph. So then conclusion. So some sample topics are given. I have only selected very few of them. You can see a long list in the textbook. Urban colleges and rural colleges. Then 2 books, of course. LCD TV and LED TV, laptop and desktop computers, etc. Then see, in an essay, in a compare contrast essay, there will be some words and phrases which are used for comparison and contrasting, like this: by comparison, conversely, on the other hand, similarly, to compare both, whereas, etc. So you can see in your textbook a long list of such words are given in the textbook in page number 58. So such words can be used for comparison and contrast. So we are stopping here, and we will be continuing with some more rhetorical modes in the coming lesson. Thank you.